Is this the Teahouse podcast?
G'day Teabaggers, Jake here. Just wanted to welcome you to episode 40. In this episode, Blake's actually running solo. Link's on holidays and I wasn't able to make it to the recording. Blake's done the entire episode himself with the help of some of the members from the local residents club, including Jenks, Springer, Greenway, Toe, Stocks, Antics and Setho, all local artists in the Bendigo music scene. I wanted to add a small disclaimer for this episode. There were a few visual difficulties with some of the parts of the recording as we filmed outside of our usual set, but Blake's done his best to set the gig up by himself and get as many of the LRC blokes on as he could. So sit back and enjoy as the boys go back and forth about what it's like being in the Aussie music scene, and stick through to the end where you can find out where to watch Blake and the LRC boys spit a couple of ciphers. With that being said, minor language warning as the boys get a tad rowdy. But yeah, podcast back to normal next week on our usual set. Enjoy the episode.
Teabaggers, I've invaded the LRC boys today. I've come out all the way out to their mad studio, and they've welcomed me with beers. I actually had to steal it from them. They didn't even offer them. What's going on, boys? Haven't seen you in a minute. What's happening?
What's up?
What's going on?
What's good? What's happening?
Oh, there's way too many to introduce you all, so you're gonna have to do it for me.
So I'm Jenks.
I'm Springer.
Ron Pun. Tasty Slack.
Stocks.
Antics.
And Setho.
Who, mate?
Setho.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, there's a couple missing as well, but they also say what's going on.
No, the boys are tough, man. Running the scene in Bendigo at the moment, as you know. And as you know, Setho from episode 9. Probably our worst episode, I know, but you probably haven't seen it.
If you haven't, get over there and have a look, though.
No, definitely go have a look. It's actually probably one of our highest watched, unfortunately, but no, it's good.
Thanks for having us, Blakey.
No, thanks for having me, boys.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
So I just wanted to lighten up, have it start light today and sort of make his turn against each other in a way.
Yeah. Well,
So I've got a little bit of a game for you.
Yeah, nice.
Sounds day to day.
Who here has the fruitiest bars?
Fruitiest.
The fruitiest bars.
Yeah, I'd probably say Toe.
No.
Depends the definition of
Yeah,
fruit.
what's the definition of fruitiest?
Yeah.
Hey?
It's a jump between Setho and Toe.
That's a big jab.
That's
Specify.
Do I-
Yeah, I think it's
Fruity
I think it's
my
a
bars are
unanimous.
definitely tutti fruity.
I think it's a
Yeah.
unanimous Seth. Yeah.
Mine are more like a rotten apple.
Yeah, the dead fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Decaying in a bando house
Exactly
somewhere.
right. Yeah.
Blue cheese.
The only apple that grows off like a rotten tree, like a dead tree. It's just the apple growing on it, like the one that Snow White got,
The forbidden one.
or
Yeah.
whatever that one. Whatever
Forbidden
that
fruit.
Blake not done his research on Snow.
Disney's gonna fucking cancel this one for sure.
Copyright.
She was the sleeping one, wasn't she?
Yeah. Who here is the best rapper out of you boys?
That's a shit question.
Yeah.
I'd say Toe as well. Though.
We're all going to tell you.
No,
the
but
same.
everyone, like, music's subjective. Everyone's different.
That's what-
Everyone
yeah.
likes different stuff. Everyone likes different.
Hey,
you know.
I don't care. I just want you to turn against each other.
All right. Everyone just say who their favourite rapper is. Mine's Toe.
It's completely perspective.
Yeah. It all depends sort of what you're into and what you want to listen to. But I mean, like, Setho's got some unreal, like, heartfelt, deep stuff. Whereas, like, Toad loves his burner bars and metaphors and stuff like that, which I rate highly. He's got some cool movie references and stuff like that. Like, he's really good at all that stuff. So, Toad's bars are, like, always the ones that all of us always are like, fuck, yeah, that was sick. Like, always gets that reaction.
You scrunch your face up and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, dirty face it.
He's your
dirty
favourite
face
rapper's favourite rapper.
But in saying that, all the boys do have some burner bars. Like, there's not one person who's come to this shed and jumped.
Yeah,
in.
like,
Oh,
good,
100%.
like Goodziak always also comes out with bars that are just next level fucking, like, he's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's been doing
He's
that
crazy.
for a long time as well.
Yeah,
He's got the craft down pat. He knows what he's doing.
He's killer.
No, 100%.
Oh, all the boys step up and have sick. I reckon everyone's good.
All right, which one of you boys can drink the most? Who's no? That's actually shit. That's shit. I was actually meant to say who can drink the least.
It'd be Joel or
antics for
Riley.
sure. But funny,
Yes,
hang on.
I think it'd have to be me.
No,
yeah. Yeah, it'd be Riley,
Funny.
actually.
I don't
Depends-
drink though, so.
I was gonna say depends how you look at it. I don't really drink much either, and neither does Riley. But when I do drink, though, I can drink a fair lot.
Well, we had to go
Hey,
to
boys.
Oh, wait, hang on. I get drunk real quick, but I can keep drinking.
I just
but
wanna-
then
I
I'll
just wanna
call
point
it and go to bed real quick.
I just want to point out that we all introduced ourselves by our rap names, and now we're going Riley. So who's talking?
Forget about Riley. No one wants to know about Riley.
Sorry,
I don't really want to know about Springer either. So.
I didn't really think we're on first name basis. I just knew you by your rap name. No, I'm just joking.
Who's Riley?
Professional relationship.
Let's keep it professional, boys.
Yeah, so you're leaving right after the podcast then?
yeah, boys. Running out with me gear.
No, you're leaving that here.
This is ours now.
LRC podcast.
Is the money going into my bank account or ours?
Yeah, when do we get paid?
It's actually a non-for-profit foundation here, boys.
Oh,
True.
right.
This is pro bono, is it?
Yeah, well, let's go.
I thought this was charity.
Yeah, easy. All right, whatever.
We're here now. Let's get it over.
Let's get it over.
It's a dragon.
All right. If you all had to fight your way out of a room, who's dying here?
I can answer that.
Everyone except Tone. I reckon Joel.
If it's a
I
battle
reckon Joel
royale,
skits out. I reckon Joel
Wait,
skits
the only
out.
reason, the only reason, exactly right. The only reason I'm dying is because I would fuck all these cunts up. They're all gonna turn against me and come at me.
Sounds like an Eskimo.
Yeah, we kill Joel first because we know.
Fuck, I might make it out alive.
I'll play
Nah,
doubt it. Final two.
I'll be the one casualty of all us teaming up on Joel.
No, what's been going on with you boys anyway? What's news? Any new shows? Any new shows coming up?
Oh yeah, we're getting them in the works. We're trying to we want to get like heaps of the other boys that rapping in Bendigo involved in the next show, so we can sort of just keep building a scene here and get that bigger and bigger and better and keep doing more shows. But yeah, we had a couple of venues hit us up after we did the show at the Deck not long ago.
Fuck, we probably haven't even spoke about the fucking.
Yeah, we should speak about the show.
Yeah, we haven't even spoken about the show, cunt.
What a night.
That was
Last
a
time
night.
we were on here, we were saying that we were going to have a show soon. So
Yeah.
that's happened now.
Yeah, so 15th of May is when, if you didn't see it down at the Deck, it was pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So we had a show down at the Deck, which was pretty sick.
Killer.
That was awesome. We had like 250 people come through, which was mad, and
Yeah.
everyone singing our songs back to us and big LRC chants and stuff. And it was just awesome night. All the crowd was sick.
Yeah, it was a dope
It was really, really good. It was better than like we all thought it was going to be. Like,
Yeah,
and we all had high hopes anyway.
Especially after me and Goodjack doing those first couple of Gold Dust and I won like a laundry bar,
Yeah.
could not have been more blown away by the fact that that was the most write-off night of
Yeah, and like for our first show, like
The vibe was just insane, wasn't
Big
it?
ups to
Drew?
the
Like,
Deck for having us as well. They were
yeah, thanks to
absolutely
Frankie
unreal.
and all the
Big
boys
ups,
there that
Frankie.
helped out, all the
Frankie.
people, all the workers, everyone. It was real good, really good, really good.
Next one's going to be just as good, so make sure you don't miss out.
I hope it's better, to be honest.
It will be better.
It'll be better. It'll be better. As a spectator, I actually fucking had a real good time. I remember just waiting in the crowd. Like, I actually fucking dobbed a tea. I dobbed a tea in the merch. Yeah, God, I was going for speckies and all. I was like, that was mine. That was mine.
Tallest bloke in the crowd.
Yeah. I did really specky. I was fucking.
Yeah, how was it from your point of view?
No, it was like honestly a grouse night. My only downfall of the night was I was weak as piss that night and fucking was throwing up by like 11 o'clock, like in between your sets and shit.
Happens to the best of us, man. Happens to the best of us.
I actually seen you in there when I was throwing up at one stage. I remember, I was throwing up hectic. Yeah, I had like a pretty average night in the aspect of how I felt and health. But like I was like for the boys, but yeah, boy, I'm loving this shit.
Still going up for speckies.
At least the toilet's not too far away from where we were playing the music.
Yeah,
so you still
yeah.
get to hear it from there at least.
The energy, I was trying to keep it as high as I could, as I could, but like 100%.
Well, actually, as soon as we finished the last song, Dance, I went straight to the toilet and started spewing myself.
Yeah, 100%.
How was Bembo's get up on the night though? Like takes his shirt and everything off, and he's just got the bluey tucked into his trackies. And what
Chocolate
happened?
cap on.
Bubba gum hat on. Oh yeah, no, someone passed you the
Yeah, the
Connor,
bucket hat.
Gave
Yeah.
you the bucket hat and the bluey tucked in. Oh, that was putrid.
That was classic.
Almost broke the stage.
Yeah, that was mad. Shout out to Alex's track Dance. Like that went off on toe. Like that song was sick. We nearly broke the stage. Like I had to get people off stage because
We had the security guards telling us to get people off the stage and there was probably 10 of us at the time with a couple of extras that had just sort of made their way onto the stage. Anybody that isn't supposed to be on here, get them off right now because this thing's going to collapse.
Joel and I got our mums on stage at one point. That was sick.
Yeah, that was cool. And it was funny as that was during one of Toe's tracks, and that was when he had his bluey and that on. I remember when he pulled his shirt and that off, and Mum just looks at him like, seriously, no way.
Mrs. Lynn's been dealing with it for years.
My almost favourite part was almost only because I've never seen half of the boys get that angry before, but when the fight broke out,
it was midway through one of my verses, and because I was spitting, I literally had no idea. I wasn't paying any attention until I could hear these boys just like yelling through the middle of my bars, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here,
bro? You're ruining my set. Fuck up."
Yeah, no, that was. Oh, I suppose that shit fucking happens, I guess. But like, no, we just straight away, like, I remember seeing it break out and I was like, oh, fuck that, stop the music. And fucking, then he cut the music off and then Goodziak come out and we were both just like, fucking Goodziak went off and we were like, we're not fucking playing. We'll go home and play in our shed if you're going to do this shit at our shows. And then it all stopped and it was good. Like, and it was awesome energy after that. Like, everyone like, we didn't want any of that shit.
We're there for the music and the good vibe. That's what
Yeah,
we're there for,
absolutely.
Yeah,
come to our show, enjoy yourselves, have a good night. That's what we're there to do.
And mad respect for that too, because like you basically refused to play it until like the fight was sort of stopped, all done, fucking the person out basically. Yeah. But that's like mad respect because everyone's there to see you boys up on the stage. No one's there to fucking.
Everyone's like entitled to be safe in that kind of environment anyway. You know, you've paid money to come and see a show. You shouldn't be there concerned about a fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
you don't even have to be in the fight to possibly be injured or anything. You know what I mean? It could break out and you could cop it.
And like people have got drinks and bottles and it's like
stupid.
Like even Joey, I don't know if Stocks, you remember the complete gig you went to just for all this COVID shit? There was a massive punch on that. There was some
and it was
bird
the exact
got,
same as them. So they've come from Western Australia.
Yeah,
like they're known people that do well. And they're like respect to them. They're doing big things for the culture as well, and they're exactly the same. They're not there for the garbage and the bullshit. They're
saying there's nothing worse than either performing a gig or even being at one when people do that and ruin the show because people come for a good night. We're there to put on a good night, like.
Yeah, well, just when people are there with that negative energy and you can tell already in the crowd, like when you've been a spectator or anything, and you're in the crowd and you can just tell someone's there and you're like, oh, he was going to punch on with someone.
He's ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and 100%. And because, like, obviously rap sort of got, like, a negative stigma sometimes as well. And, like, you don't really want that sort of fucking stigma on top of the fucking...
Exactly right.
Yeah, we're here to show that it doesn't have to be that. Like, you know what I mean? It never has to be that. Like, we preach all love, you know? Like, that's what it should be like.
Oh.
He's been dying holding back a burp like the last 30 seconds.
No, honestly, that was actually a mad show. But so obviously you want to create like a scene in Bendigo and stuff. Do you want to make shows and stuff like that sort of regular, don't you boys?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we had sort of a bit of an idea that we thought it'd be cool to say instead of like doing big shows like that, like we could continuously do them because they were awesome, but also like on say like a Thursday night of like for the first Thursday of every month or something like that, we could do the top floor of the deck and run like just sort of hip hop nights. We can have open mic for an hour of it, and anyone can come up and like if they've got some bars they've been writing at home, come up and spit them, man. Like that's what we're sort of here for, and then we can have one of us MC the event for the whole night and play some tracks in between and get other people up there and involve everyone, and just like that'd be a really cool thing. And even just in intermissions of that, like have people up there and just have some hip hop and some R&B and stuff playing up there, so everyone can just chill for a bit, even when there's not anything going on the stage. Like just a good like those things like that. Yeah, like
that scene around.
And
it helps with the creativity and shit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what helps for like people can come and see the big shows and they're like, whoa, and then it's like that's a way for them to get involved or see it on a lesser scale that's not like so in your face. You know what I mean? Like just sort of more like you can feel more involved that way when it's sort of more like intimate, I guess. Yeah.
The main thing for that is, I suppose, like just helping other people sort of start out as well, because like we've all been in that same position where, you know what I mean. It's nerve wracking. It is a nerve wracking thing. It's one thing when you first start, I suppose, rapping in front of your friends, and then you go to sort of distant friends and you just start branching out. But like a small sort of area like that up the top of the deck, which is just like perfect to sort of get amongst the crowd, and like the stage is real low, so you sort of
get a start.
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
and just help other people feel comfortable rapping in front of people and stuff like that.
And big shout outs to the deck for like wanting to do all this as well. It's like helping us create
Yeah,
that
huge
culture
support.
there. Like, yeah, they've been really good. Really, really
Shout
good.
out to Bugs as well.
Yeah.
Bugs winner.
Bugs Runner was on the set with us. Bloody oath.
Yeah, if you've heard cold shit, if you haven't, you're missing out.
Yeah,
play
go
it.
listen to Cult Shit on Goodsiak Spotify.
Burner.
No, so you don't want to do any special releases? No, nothing you can want to expose on the
A little
podcast?
bit of shit on the way.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, I didn't bite the bait. That's all right. Next time. Just trying to get it on the tier.
There's always something coming out. There's always something coming out.
Us
keep your
dirty
eyes
journalists, we're no good, mate.
Nah, everybody's sort of cooking up stuff in their own time and got things happening. So it's all sort of pre-planned in its own way. Like everybody's sort of on their own time, and with that, everybody sort of releases gradually. Almost, it's turning out to be almost one song a month. So
Yeah.
at least
I got an EP coming up soon with like 6 tracks on it. So that'll be like
He's been
a month or
tearing
so.
up the booth the last few days. Like,
Yeah, Toe's been in there producing, like helping mix and master all this stuff, which is mad shout out to him. Yeah, it's
That's
been
a
good.
Mr. E as well.
It's
We're
been
waiting
out.
on.
Yeah,
Get him in the
literally
booth,
just
Mr.
waiting for Mr. E to drop his verse for a feature on one of my tracks, and then we're good to go.
Yeah.
I'll film some clips and we'll get it done.
And a little bit further from done as well. I've got something coming too. I've got a little EP I'm working on. So
Yeah, there's
no date as at the moment, but
Stocks and I've got 2 tracks sitting there that we premiered at the show. That we were gonna put on a bit of a project together, but we were probably gonna release them, do some videos for them, and release them before we release that project too.
that
So we got
EP's
heaps of
on the
stuff,
back burner
man.
a bit.
and the track that me, you, and Stocks got as well.
Oh yeah. We
And
literally
I've
wrote a
also-
track the other night.
I've also got a little EP coming out as well.
Yeah,
I released the first sort of track off that last week called Not Well.
Yeah, go over to
Yeah,
YouTube,
which
have a
was
look at the
sick.
video.
Have a look at that. That was mad.
So that's sort of like the first one. I've got a couple of features on a couple of other tracks, one with Setho and one with Joel. And obviously, if anybody else wants to chuck a verse in if they want to, that's
we've
more
always
than
got
happened. But we're not quite at that stage yet, but it's on the way.
All right, bro, I'll chuck one.
Yeah, when I
Go for it.
Hold
Go
him to that,
for it.
teabaggers. Hold
I
him
thought
to
there
that.
was an unrecorded verse here anyway, Blake.
Yeah, there is actually.
There is. There'll be some on my computer somewhere. There's a Blake verse. I know.
Yeah. BJ, they call me.
Yeah, that too.
And just like us like getting involved with the community and stuff as well. Us boys here at the local residence and Alan from AJR Bricklaying. We're going to do a giveaway soon as well, so keep a lookout for that. If you're local to the Bendigo area, it's going to be held here. So
You guys may have seen the last one down that they gave away a bike to some of the local guys at Aussie Steez. Shout out to Aussie Steez for what they're doing as well. They're just
Big love to the Aussie Steez
Big
boys.
ups.
They're doing what they're doing. They're making it work as well in what they're doing, and we're just trying to help them too. So, we'll be down. Unfortunately, with COVID, we're hoping to get it done.
Next weekend, or-
next weekend. So,
But
unfortunately, that hasn't happened. We're gonna just push that back a little bit. So as soon as all the COVID stuff starts to, clear up, and we can get a day where we can get it free, we're gonna have it down. Hopefully at a skate park down here and do a bit of a giveaway and get everyone down, and hopefully everyone can enjoy the day with us, play some music and.
have
Yeah.
a big skate,
Spit some bars
BMX
and
jam,
shit,
whatnot.
yeah, have a big jam. Have some prizes.
sausage sizzle, whatever. Just
Keep an eye out for posters and
Put on
and
a big
everything. We're
day.
gonna make
We've
sure
actually
that-
got heaps of stuff in the works. It's good. We've also got if anyone wants to come down after this COVID stuff's done again,
Lush.
we're doing a little pop up gig, just a small thing at my brother's barber shop that's just opened up in Bendigo. So Lush Barber, check that out.
238A.
Yeah, down on Hargrave Street. And we're just gonna go down there and spit some bars and maybe show some new tracks and do some ciphers and stuff. So that'll be good. You'll be doing haircuts and whatnot. So we got that coming up. Tell them about Relay for Life as well.
So we also thought we'll get together and we're going to do Relay for Life as a team. We're going to do that with Alan from AJR Bricklaying as well. And a little bit closer to the date, we're going to do a raffle. And we'll sell raffle tickets for, I don't know, $1, $2 each, something like that. And whoever wins the raffle will give some of our clothes to as the winning prize, and all the money we get for the raffle we're going to donate to a cancer foundation. So we'll be doing that in the upcoming months as well.
I'm pretty sure that is at the end of August.
28th, yeah.
Yeah,
28th, start of August for the raffle to come out. And get your stuff just to help a good cause. We're gonna try and do them. We'll do the Relay for Life. So get down there if you see us. Come and
Yeah,
say
get
good
yourself
day,
down
or-
there. Go down there
100%.
yourself.
Come down and see us. And
Walk some laps. Yeah.
Sounds like a tax dodge. No, I'm just joking. Definitely,
He's onto us, boys.
Big ups to tax.
definitely go check them out. That's sick. We're doing a little cypher at the end, aren't we, boys?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we might show you a little bit of stuff we got going on.
A little,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No,
So
actually, you know what? No.
definitely.
Don't use anything.
That sounds like Springer.
We didn't really care about that anyway, but although just,
Doesn't
No,
matter
but-
if Springer doesn't spit.
yeah, doesn't matter.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Mate, can you ever?
Well, I'll put my hand up.
Can you ever?
Joel.
So who here wants to tell us who their favourite rapper is and why, if you have one?
Oh, Joel.
You almost kick us off.
Can I
you go
can I
first,
tell all my favourite ones in different reasons why?
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
like,
go,
it's sort of
go.
hard.
Yeah,
but-
go.
No, I don't want to be first. I got to think about it. first.
Even top 3, yeah. I can't say that off the top either, but
Give me a minute.
Seth Century,
Yeah.
SO, and
Chilling at the
probably
field.
Chill.
What are we going? Just Aussie?
Nah, everyone go favourite rappers out of everything. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's such a.
From everywhere.
That's hard. That's hard, but it's.
I connect more to Aussie rap. That's why I like him. Probably Flea as well. Honestly, like fuck Flea's.
I'd say
You
Husky's
can
up,
say that easy.
Husky's up there for me, and just because of the shit that he raps, you can just feel the emotion.
Yeah.
Every bar that he raps, it's just.
It's disgusting how much you feel it. To be honest with you.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of pain in there.
For me, I found it was Fracture, Scotty Minister, and fucking Posse Shot, to be honest. I never even rapped before I saw them at the gig they played last year, so that's sort of what inspired me to get into rap in general. So I'd probably say they're my favourite rappers, really.
Yeah.
For sure.
shout out to
They
them. They're all
kill it.
legends as well.
And they're sick. They're just
doing
all
big
just
things as
real
well.
motherfuckers
Yeah,
that
great
just say it
dudes.
how it is and don't fuck care about the bullshit, and that's why they're sick to listen to.
Yeah. Unreal. Check them out if you haven't heard any of those boys.
I like Seth Century for the same reason like Toe is sick. Like just awesome metaphors and all connecting and just rapping around the same. Like I don't know, he's just fucking so good at telling like a bullshit story sometimes as well. But just like honestly, it's fucking he's so good at that.
I stabbed me sister.
Yeah.
I'd say. Shout out, Emma.
My favorite bar ever is still "I'm the presence in the room, sleep paralysis."
that whole track.
That
is
whole
just
track
bar
is
for bar.
that,
for
yeah,
burner.
that is like I remember we were doing a live and we were doing a giveaway for some clothes vouchers.
I've got it on my phone.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there on the live filming it, and Toe comes up behind me. I'd never heard these bars before, and he just starts spitting them. And every single line, I'm just like, like just different stank face every time. I'm like, fuck, that was so good. But yeah, like, and then probably SO because I reckon when I listen to his shit, it's the most that like I feel like, fuck, that's who I'd want to be. Like, that's like. He spits about good real shit, but he can talk some absolute good bullshit. And he's just true Aussie. Like, I don't know, it's just good shit. I like that. That's what I like about him. What about you, Joe?
Furs.
Let's go.
Thursday, Mersey,
Bogsy.
Bogsy.
Yeah, shout out to Furs and Bogsy.
Shout out to Hustle Hard TV. Joel Garoppolo.
Hustle Hard TV. I don't know. I'd probably have to say my favourite Aussie artist is Brad Strutt for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just grew up listening to Brad Strutt. Like when I first heard Aussie hip hop. Well, boys are from England, but Aussie now. They're Fracture and Scotty, who Jenks was talking about earlier. I first heard them, I think I would have been maybe 13, and it would have been at Toe's house. I reckon Toe and Will and those boys would have showed me Frax and that.
13-year-old Joel. That's
That's not.
And yeah, just dove deeper into Aussie hip hop from there. And
now look at you.
yeah, now look at me. But some of my favorite American artists, like
Surely
it's such
Onyx.
a hard one. I was just about to say it's got to be Onyx. It has to be Fredro and Sticky. So they're just raw, filthy, grimy hip hop, man, and it's just unreal. Like just
Yeah, it's always good to bang up.
like it's just
So much. Like, we could sit here for hours and talk about the amount of dope artists there are.
Oh,
Even
man.
Australia,
Speaking
America,
of American
England.
artists, I reckon Vinny Paz is pretty
Yeah.
I
fun.
said
See,
Eyes,
that's
man.
it.
Eyes is dope. Eyes is fucking. Eyes would be one of my favourite too.
Favorite UK artist though, Tansky for sure. He's just like he can spit some unreal, like heartfelt stuff, but he's burner bars and flows and stuff like that. Like he's just grimy as too.
Mine's Loki and Chip from the UK.
Yeah, Loki's sick. Yeah,
And fucking probably Wombat, only because I don't know how
You love a
that.
bit of one, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know how that can't fit so many syllables and shit.
Must be the list, man.
Yeah, bro.
rolls off.
I'm like, "Cunt, he just quadded on me, cunt. He just fucking, he just quad tapped. I swear.
Monster kill.
Cunt, he raps like Charlie Swath on the buzzers, cunt. he's mad.
Yeah, Wombat's dope.
Yeah, no, he's tough.
Toe, Ron.
I'm gonna be dirty. I'm gonna go all groups.
Yeah.
Rhyme Asylum #1 for me from the UK.
It's cheating, but
I'm going to say Army of the Pharaohs.
Yeah.
And then Lyrical Commission.
Yeah.
From 3 different
dope.
countries, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're dope.
Yeah. We don't need to tell you exactly right. That's what I was about to say. Go and listen to them, and you'll see why. Yeah.
Specifically, Apathy from Army of the Pharaohs is probably my favourite.
And
They're-
just to mix that up, go Lyrical Commission, and is it Apathy or All Out War?
The good thing is,
Self-titled All Out War, yeah.
the good thing is they're all watching anyway. So
Yeah. Shout outs, boys.
no,
hell no.
I swear, the Teahouse, man.
The teabag.
They run deep.
They're the day ones, baby. They're the day ones. They DM me all the time.
Riley.
No, God.
Oh, probably Wu-Tang, Hilltop, and 4 Hours from the UK.
Yeah, 4 hours. 4 hours of dope.
Hilltop as well.
Man,
See, then I can't pick. Then like Dirty Dark. Dirty Dark's like one of my favourite rappers.
Just go
as well.
high focus, right?
Hilltop's
High
nostalgic.
focus records. Ocean Wisdom, actually. I love Ocean Wisdom.
You do.
Ocean Wisdom.
Hilltop's nostalgic for me, just like their old
Yeah.
shit, like blood nose section and shit.
Yeah.
Blood Nose section. Yes.
Complete section.
I fucking knew I was gonna do it too.
Put on the spot with this question.
You know what? I like Bliss and Esso better anyway. Fuck your Hilltop.
I like Bliss and Esso better than Hilltop too.
Don't be talking to me about Hilltop.
They're gonna do me dirty now. I like you, cunt.
No suffering pressure.
I grew up on Hilltop. That's what
Yeah,
got
Hilltop,
me into
Yeah, same. I
hip-hop.
love Hilltop as well, but Bliss is better. Bliss and Esso's better.
Anyway, we'll save the debate for another day.
I'm starting controversy where there's not.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah, but not against me, against you.
Who else has got a question to ask us? What are you boys?
hang
What's on the
hang
top of your mind? Oh, you haven't said. Oh, speak up.
I can't go past Solo from Horror Show.
Oh, damn.
dope.
Hard one to go past. I think he'd probably be #1. It'd be hard to not have this conversation with Eminem. I've listened so much Eminem.
So bad that
Which is an obvious one,
I
though.
didn't.
It's an obvious one.
But still,
I didn't want it.
you can
But
rap
I
like
can.
every Eminem song as well.
I
So
don't give
you-
a fuck, so that's fine. I'll chuck him in there too. As well as that, fuck.
Hang on. Whoa, I'm gonna cut back.
Surely
It's
Seth
so
as well,
hard
yeah.
when you're thinking of this sort of stuff because probably, like I said, Onyx before, but one of me most listened to artists from America is The Game.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
like,
50.
Do you remember?
Well,
do-
the 50
50,
Cent.
yeah,
I
you
used
love
to
a bit of
pump
50.
50
Joel,
Cent.
do you remember when the game followed you on Instagram?
Should we go Victorian?
We can go Victorian. I'll go.
Should we do Victorian favorite rappers?
Yeah, I could do that.
That could be it. Oh, actually, should we?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, we'll go Victorian. We'll go Victorian.
Alright,
Well,
I'll start.
oh yeah, go.
I'll go first, and that was easy for me. As far as Victorian rappers, it's probably Flea's probably the #1 regardless. It's hard to not be. Well, I mean, he's gonna be if anything.
If he's not in anyone's
Lyrically, he's disgusting.
Yeah. And he's been doing it
In
for
the best way, I mean.
years now. Like he was what 17 when he like
Yeah, he's
still came on the scene.
ridiculous. And then
Definitely not suffer.
probably Test Century, and then probably and it may seem a bit biased, but probably Toe Sizzlack. Like it'd be hard. I guarantee if you ask nearly anyone here, their top 3 to 5 Victorian rappers, and Bembo's not on that list. Then, sorry, Sizzlack is not on that list. Then you're a flaming joke.
My favorite, my favorite Aussie rapper is probably All Day. No, just joking.
You do look like an all-day fan.
Fuck up, idiot.
Fuck up, idiot.
Mine's I grew up on Tram. I don't know if you remember Tram.
Yeah.
Big rappers, yeah, can't go past.
Trem's definitely. Oh, no, you go.
Sorry. Fucking, you know who's actually a good one? Salb. He's actually not
He's
bad.
bad, man. Yeah.
Subs GG.
He's a good
I'll-
fella too.
Yeah, I like how he raps off beat. It's kind of like he's got like a timing that I like. I don't know.
Dribbles.
Bad flows.
I'll probably say Mogwai as well.
Yeah, my guy's sick.
I'd have to say top 3. Vic would definitely be Trem. Like Mornsy's got to be up there.
Mornsey. Oh
Yes, cunt.
If that reaction doesn't say something, then yeah.
Sorry, Sis.
Shit, who else? What
Aussie shot always, man.
Carney's
Oh,
got it.
Diamond. Carney.
Aussie
It's
shot.
about Dime.
Get the money out.
Man, all those boys.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dime,
Scotty
man.
Frax, Dime, all those boys,
Bigfoot.
Posse boys.
Oh, Bigfoot.
Big shout out to them all.
100%
Yeah,
Tauncey.
Taunsky, big shout out to them all,
If you
man.
haven't heard of Bigfoot, look up Bigfoot.
Fatty Few.
Bigfoot.
Also,
Stomp.
Jai
Stomp.
Simpson.
Stomp.
Yeah, Jai.
Yeah,
Jai's dope.
Yeah.
I love Jai.
Geelong,
Jai's
I would think Fatty is Vic just because we saw him at that reunion gig.
Geelong, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is from Geelong.
Yeah.
You can't go past Fatty Fury.
Yeah, bloody oath.
That Melbourne dude's fucking fresh, to be honest.
Yeah.
As well, actually.
Yeah, Melbourne's sick.
I stumbled across him years ago when he was still rapping in an American accent.
accent,
I remember seeing it, and then when he started like come back, like one of my mates, Burtis, listens to him heaps, and I remember seeing it being like Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's actually dope now that he's dropped his American accent. I think it's sick.
Yeah, no, I rate it.
Another one,
No,
too, Rex Mundy, of course.
Oh, shout out to Rex, not a local.
Bendigo zone.
Monday.
Bloody oath. No, I love Jai Simpson, like I said before. He's sick. I reckon he just does heaps of good flows that like no one else sort of does. I reckon like he's pretty original. He's sick.
Filthy Phil as well.
If we're talking about Filthy Phil, we better throw dribbles in there as well.
I can't go past some old Madism. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty classic.
Yeah.
Some good
Madism
RP
was good, man. Yeah.
That's one that
Rest in
comes
peace
on.
to Mandel.
RP man. That's one that comes on every weekend when you're getting like silly, just on the piss, 2 a.m. in the morning. Fuck, better throw on things I never thought.
Definitely grew up on a lot of Madism. That was
Everyone said all my favorites.
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, there's probably still so many.
Yeah, literally, but it's like we'll just be sitting here naming off fucking rappers.
Cryptic.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Cryptic,
true.
eh? We've got a track dropping, another track dropping, like Got Bars 4 coming with Cryptic feature on it, so wait for that.
And if
Jumping back to Oz rappers, fucking Indigo Merkaba. That cunt is fucking sick.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
He's good.
100%.
Going hard at the moment. He's been working real hard, doing heaps of collabs with heaps of cool dudes in the scene, and like
That new one with
And just-
Wombat's burner.
And just
That is
doing
better.
dope shit like those 48-hour projects. He's done 2 of them now. That's fucking pretty dope as well. For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I reckon we've pretty much named every Aussie rap.
Oh,
that's probably shout out Aussie man.
No,
Lazy Grey.
that-
You
that
can't
was
leave
it.
Lazy Grey out of there. Like
Kid Salzy.
kids sounds. Kev the Tyrant. Speaking on.
I had to blame someone.
Kev the Tyrant, who's he? He's dead.
When did Kev the Tyrant start rapping?
Kev the
When did
Tyrant.
Kev start?
And who is Kev the Tyrant? Tell the
Tell us
people.
about Kev the Tyrant and Springer.
Kev the Tyrant was just what I called myself for a while. I don't know why, and I just ended up going back to Springer because
Springer was his OG rap name from when we were in like high school.
I remember I started rapping heaps more when I was probably when I was 13, 14 when I first started really getting into hip hop, but it wouldn't have been until I started kicking with Biff, Frank and Jar Hames, and they had all the recording shit that we actually started recording stuff when I was probably like 17. That was when Setho started sponsoring me. Back in the day.
Slash.
Never got any merchandise though.
Oh, you've got some now. You've got some
Yeah, I
now.
had to get it off your brother. But then started recording shit with those boys and then really didn't do anything for a few years. And then it wasn't until I started kicking with all you boys again and hanging out with Goodjack and we started going to gigs and then all this sort of just come about. But yeah, I've been rapping for a while now, but it's definitely I just do it because I absolutely froth hip hop, man. Like I just love it that much that I couldn't not rap.
100%.
When did you start rapping Antics? And what got you into hip hop?
Kids of Mayhem.
Shed Cypher.
So to be honest with you, the reason I wrote my first ever track was recorded in my mum's room, classic, just on who knows what sort of old ghetto phone, and it was just a video. It was actually on my Facebook wall, which probably could nearly still be there if you scrolled all the way to the bottom
find
of
it,
the wall. Someone find that.
Sethos are on headbutts.
I'd hate to scroll through the rest of your
But that
Facebook,
was
though.
definitely probably it was because of Furzy and those boys. I used to listen to them a lot when I was 14, 15.
When you were a male rat.
Yeah, when I was a little male rat. Furzy still goes hard though. Like big ups Furzy, he's pretty good.
I remember this video.
Yeah. But I first started rapping with Toe and our other mate Frank, who Springer just mentioned before. We had our first crew back, would have been 10 years ago at least.
10
KOM.
What was that? What was the name of
Yeah,
that?
KOM. Kids of Mayhem.
Is that in the Bendigo Red days?
You'll find it somewhere.
But,
videos are still on YouTube.
There is videos from 10 years ago.
You were filth.
No, it's not Gilly's Factory.
And it's not Gilly's Factory. It was somewhere in Melbourne. It was classic times though. But that's when I first started rapping with Toe and Frank. So yeah, and just from then on, like I've just wrote tracks here and there. I had a fair few breaks over the years, but the last 12 months, man, like I've always lived for hip hop. I always lived for rap, like my whole life. It's just all I've done. I think my first Eminem CD I was in grade 4 or 5, and from then on it was just that was my life, I guess. Like
I got one for Jenks, just
Yeah.
because you're not even from like a rap background sort of thing, so
Yeah, so
you're more like a screamo.
Yeah, so I started off my musical ventures as like a singer generally, and started really loving metal in particular. So I was very much doing deathcore and stuff like that, and I actually played with a metalcore band called Daywaster for ages, and we ended up playing with bands like Parkway Drive and things like that, was probably sort of like the pinnacle of that for us at that point of time. But around the same time that we sort of played that show with Parkway Drive and sort of started splitting up, I was hanging out with a few mates up near Breen Street near the fucking train station, and they were all rapping in there, like Jamie, fucking Swift. There was
He's actually tough as, to be honest. He can freestyle like.
yeah, there's Ace. Our
I
mate
remember
Spence was
Ace.
there.
Yeah, I remember
Mundy
Ace.
was
Ace is
kicking
good
there.
too.
Yeah, we were. There was Anthony, who goes by Terrence or High IQ.
Yeah.
And he's from New Zealand and stuff. And I was sort of like kicking with them and just sort of playing around with it, but I never really sort of took any of it like heavily. And it wasn't until like last year that I met these guys on New Year's and sort of started hanging out with them collectively and stuff like that. And I came to their house show that Fracture and Scotty and Carney and Dento had come down to. And I was watching them perform along with Goodziak and Setho and a few of the other boys and stuff like that, and ended up having some pretty fucking full-on chats about rap and what it means to, you know, these blokes and stuff like that. And yeah, I sort of took an interest from there, and yeah,
Sure.
rest is history. I was just kept working on it.
And big ups to Jenks too. His work rate and progress, like over the last 12 months, has been incredible. Like from where he first started, and it's unreal that you sort of like say, as I was saying before, like me and Toe when we started when we were real young, like obviously got no clue, but I love that we've still got videos out there from when we were young, just because you get to see sort of where you started and your progress from there on out. And it's like you've started with us and we're already doing videos and stuff like that, and you've got some good music clips out there now, and you can see from where you first started to your progress to now, and it's only just getting better, man. So
cheers,
And,
bro.
And what I
it was
like
such
about
a short period of time. Like,
Yeah.
you have progressed like
Yeah.
massively, man. Like I wish I could have got that good that quick when I was younger. Like Setho's still got some bars of mine somewhere on his mum's computer. He reckons.
yeah,
And
I wanna
I
find
never want to hear them again. Like,
No, that was sick.
but still, it's like you find it cringe, but it's still a great feeling knowing
Yeah.
like that's where you started and
100%.
where you're at now. So
What's also good about it too is because like you still incorporate that into your rapping and like music now still, which is like makes you a bit more.
Well, that's me,
Like,
really.
yeah,
you know,
100%.
to put it as short and plain, like that's what I've done for fucking years. So to be able to sort of incorporate it, I think that's what any artist should be able to do if they've
Yeah.
got something they love and bring something that they find is a bit different or might not be for everyone. Even just incorporating little bits of it really adds to even emphasis and sort of gets that point across. Even if my lyrics aren't fucking the most technical or, you know, multi-syllable counted, whatever, I still get a message across quite firmly
And
with the sort
it's-
of power that comes behind that.
it's also your passion too, though. Like you've got mad drive and mad passion for it too. So like, even if you aren't like, you know, the craziest lyricist or whatever, it's like, man, you can still just keep dropping track after track after track, and you'll be heavily respected for that too. You know what I mean? It's your love and passion that you have for it too. So
I say there's no science to hip hop. Dope's dope. And Jenks is dope.
Thanks, bro.
And I'll say as well, like you don't have to have like it doesn't have to be rap as a music background. Some of my biggest influences when I was young, especially, is people like Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit who had that sort
Linkin
of rap
Park was
genre.
massive
I know
for me.
Seth is a big fan of D's Nuts as well. I'm sure he wants a shout out.
Hybrid Theory was actually the first album I ever owned.
Yeah, like if the Jay-Z Linkin Park album that they did together was one of the first live shows I've seen on an actual like DVD or video. It probably was back then.
Yep.
That my brother had
VHS,
there,
baby.
and like that was
the
huge
boost.
to me. Like that sort of stuff as well. So it doesn't always have to be rap that gets you involved. You know what I mean? You can see by that just how far you've come, just
Yeah,
having
no
the
way.
knowledge prior. You know what I mean?
Plenty more influences like outside of rap for the music
Absolutely.
we make, for sure.
I listen to everything. I was listening to country music. Yeah, I've
I got it
got
from
that in my
Toey.
Spotify playlist from my last yesterday, or the day before.
That's like a good song.
what about you, Toe? Whereabouts?
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. What draw you? Like, who are your influences? Like, what drawing you to like do such sort of like dark, but like such like
A lot of UK shit, like Rhyme Song that I mentioned earlier.
yep.
They're like my favourite. Lee Scott, all them boys. Yeah, a lot of UK shit really, and just I'm just a big movie head.
Yeah, he's a
Real,
movie buff.
real grimy.
Love a
Massive
reference,
movie
love, you
buff.
know,
What he
love
likes, he makes
horror,
up for
so
facts.
just get in and fucking, yeah.
And I'd be
so-
one of your biggest influences.
Oh, yeah, Setho for sure.
So basically, don't let you behind me, sort of thing. Keep me eyes on you.
It's probably
And
me behind
Cannot
it.
be trusted.
Speaking of Toe's a fucking sick cunt. Like, when I came to him with the dance track, you know, I really wasn't sure what to expect from it, and I thought this is going to be cool. And fuck, the flow that you come through with that on, man, that was fucking unreal.
That's actually one of my favourite verses.
And it was
That's
such
so
a
good.
different style track for Toe too.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
yeah.
Versatile.
Fucking, like you
Versatile.
said, dope is dope. and toe is dope.
He's got a new one out with Donny from the UK. If you haven't heard that, it's called Psycho. That is an absolute killer track. That's done a
Psychopath.
killer job.
Rhyming,
Both.
love him a lot.
Yeah, big shout out to Donny from the UK too.
And
He
is it
just
Dirty
like
Smirks?
yeah, Dirty Smirks on
Yeah,
that
Dirty
track.
Smirks.
Yeah, Donny just hit me up with like 5 beats and was like, "Oh, I want you to jump on these, man." And I was like, listen to them, and some of them I was like, "Yeah, sick." And then I heard that Psycho, and I'm like, Toe needs to get on this. And then Toe and Donny got talking, and yeah, Toe ended up jumping on that, and that turned out to be such a good track. Like, that was sick. So big shout out to those boys. Go listen to those tracks.
I'm interested to know where and why you started rapping, Toe.
Take you back to the 50s.
Oh, yeah. it was after the Great War, you see.
in the middle of the Great Depression.
Well, I don't have the greatest memory, but I've always, well, not always, I used to be into punk. When I was 12, I had a full-blown mohawk. Like a proper, not a faux hawk, no, a proper fucking mohawk.
Yeah,
you know what I
not
mean?
a faux.
And loved metal, and then,
I
I don't know, just grew into hip-hop and just loved it. And as far as I can remember back, I've been writing.
Yeah.
Which isn't that far that I can remember.
Last week I've been rapping.
if it wasn't for me, Toe probably would have quit years ago. We were out camping one time, and Toe went into the bushes, like into the, I don't know, abyss for a leak. And anyway, he come back and he lost his iPod, and that had all his raps and everything on it at the time. Like, this was years and years ago, and he sort of flipped his shit over that. We went on with the night, partied on, whatever. Woke up the next morning, and I was like, "Oh, we'll go for a quick look for it." You know what I mean? We walked ages, like, because it was actually what happened. You were trying to scare someone, weren't you?
Yeah, we went into the bush and we were trying to scare the other boys collecting
Oh,
wood.
that's right. Yeah. So, the boys were getting wood or whatever. We went to go scare him, and he lost his iPod out there. And the next morning, we were walking through the bush.
And
we were
I
like,
said, if we don't find my iPod, never
That's
rapping
it.
again.
and we're walking along, and I just seen something like shimmer in my eye, and I like look over, I was like, no way. Over there, we go over, bang, Toe's
I would
iPod.
have
So
thought Joel's eyesight would be something that saves this rap. we managed to hear now.
He knew exactly where to go. He was like,
Sounds dodgy to me.
Yeah, sounds like a Gregor Wallet story.
Sounds like some antics to
I'm
me.
a bushman. If we're in the city, I wouldn't have been able to, find my own shoe. But
iPod metal detector.
a bushman, I can find whatever.
Joel just pulled it out of his own pocket. Oh, I found it, brother. I found
It's over here. It's over here.
I actually sold it back to him. I was going to steal all his raps.
I didn't want the iPod, I wanted the raps.
Took them all, wrote them all down, chucked it in the ground somewhere. Come on. If you haven't heard Rough Road, that was him that wrote it.
What about old Sanchez? Where'd you start drawing? So big ups to Sanchez, by the way. Sanchez. Sanchez and Jess, like, they're our two designers for the crew. All of our merch and everything. These two boys.
Go on, big round of applause for fucking
Those boys work hard in the backgrounds, But yeah, so what started you drawing and why?
What made you want to be an artist?
Well, like as far back as I can remember, which is a while.
He's a time traveler, so we can go back pretty far.
This is the one that makes
It was
Ronnie
like-
rockets too.
Dragon Ball Z and all sorts of shit like that, and then just imagining stuff and just drawing it.
Dragon Ball Z.
creative imagination.
See, Dragon Ball Z is a good influence.
Yeah, for
So I'm
sure.
always drawing like dragons or
Balls.
just random,
These.
balls of dragons and that sort of thing, and
Did you start copying stuff, or you just fucking...
just
You see it, mate. You
Straight off
remember
the
it.
dome.
straight up, half the time I didn't know what I was drawing. I ended up drawing some fucked out dragon or monster or something. Some hentai shit sometimes.
I used to just sit there and just draw like Globe and DC signs and shit.
The classic.
I was a big one
Albert
for the
John
S.
Albert
Yeah.
Sons.
Yes. Oh,
Oh, the S was a classic. I love that one.
Yeah, the Stussy S.
I used to love like just seeing stickers and shit. Like when I was like 14, I used to want to get like a Southern Cross tattoo and have like just fucking Element Globe stickers, Quicksilver all over me. Like when this is what like I pictured me as a P player to be in. Like
That's fuck you didn't do that.
that's me, cunt. I was like, that's me. That's me.
Good as.
Imagine if
That's pure.
No one else was like that. Nah, true. Fuck off. Someone's got a Southern Cross here. Tell me who it is.
No, well, Jake, the bloke that was here earlier, he's actually got his whole back piece is a Southern Cross. Oh, yes. He's gonna hate me saying that, but yeah, classic. Yeah.
I love that.
Scotty Alice's little brother.
I'd get a Southern
Little
Cross
brother.
big Aussie, bro.
Hey, Aussie, bro. Hey, it's the Southern Hemisphere, mate. You can be in Brazil and have that, all right?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to be the mediator,
The geographer.
the devil.
The devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate is
That's
what I was
the
meant to
one.
say.
Yeah, that's the one.
Devil sounded a bit fucking
666.
yeah, bit
Diablo.
bit extreme for what I did. You know what I mean? Like, didn't really match. Anyway, don't worry about it.
Didn't deserve the sentence.
Just move on. Riley, fuck.
Springer.
Springer.
I know.
Kev the Tyrant.
Kev the time.
Kev Adams, yeah. Kev
No one
Adams.
knows his name.
Yes, Blake.
Anyway, so what about that time when I gave you $10 at the front of the nightclub and they wouldn't let you in?
Oh, that was brilliant. Actually. They wouldn't let me back in to get me back, and that was the worst part.
Was that actually the night of the? Was that the night of the gig?
Surely you did not get that back.
was.
Yeah. You're paying entry to your own gig.
No, it
because
can't
he
have
lent
been-
you
it
money.
can't have been the
I
night
don't
of the
think
gig,
that
but-
didn't happen.
I can't remember many other times that I've been out.
You weren't paying to get into your own gig, that's for sure. If you did, thanks for the money, man.
No, because it was like after it was like when it was clubbing and stuff. Maybe I'm fucking talking shit.
No,
It was not.
It was not that night.
It was beforehand. The only reason I know that is because I had to get back in because Jade had my car keys, and I needed my car keys obviously to drive, and I didn't have my license when we did the gig.
Yeah, so
So
it can't have been.
You were obviously sober that night.
yeah, well, I was,
Of course.
but God, I actually can't remember that. Why was I there? But
been
yeah,
a good
anyway,
night.
moral of the story is I was stuck outside. They wouldn't let me back in. And Blakey and I just happened to be walking past, and I was like, Blake, I need $10 entry to get back in here, mate. And Blake's just going,
Classic Riley not having $10.
I had money on my card.
No, it must have been in my car, man.
Nah, on my card.
Where was your card?
Probably in my car.
Is it really helpful having like, because obviously like you got so many boys doing different things, like you got the drawers, you got the designers. That sounds way cooler, eh? You're a designer, mate. You got the designers, you got all the boys rapping and stuff. Like, is that like really motivating? For instance, like you've all been rapping for years and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And now that you've got like a collective and stuff like that, look how much work you're doing and stuff like that. So is it like rubbing off on each other, like the motivation and stuff like that?
Definitely. 100%. Like each time, everybody's dropping something that just seems to be better and better.
Yeah,
realistically, and like it just scales up and it keeps scaling. So that always sort of gives, I know for me, it gives me drive to want to work harder and to sit there and go, okay, how can I sort of move this up a bit more to make it a bit more palatable or, a bit more interesting and engaging and whatnot. And I know that I feed off that when every one of these boys drops a fucking fire track, which is pretty much fucking non-stop.
Always. Absolute fire.
Apart from what I've heard of Setho's new EP, though, no one listened to that.
But no, 100% it does. Before I lived here, I used to come around all the time, and Setho is bad for just sitting in this shed hours on end with the same beat playing, just writing bars, and I'm terrible for writing music. Like,
Riley, who wants to write some raps, chucks a beat on? 4 minutes
4
later,
minutes later,
nah,
fuck
he'll
this.
just turn
Yeah.
it off.
Soon
If
as I
Riley's
get-
in control of the beat,
Make him.
that's
Actually,
it. It's off.
This happened about, what was it, yesterday or the day before?
Every
Wrote for
time?
about 10 minutes. He's like, oh, you want to go watch a Royal Rumble?
no, we were sitting
I
inside.
said yes.
Yeah, well, of course.
I got another divider for everyone.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Great wall.
who's the most motivated and who's the least?
Well, I'm the least.
Least motivated right there.
Definitely most
The
motivated.
only time he makes tracks is when he features on someone else's track.
The most motivated at the moment, it'd have to be either Seth or Jinx, especially.
Yeah.
I think they're working hard as at the moment, getting everything organised to come out.
Yeah, no worries to the guy behind the scenes on Seth's EP.
Oh, sorry.
big
I was
time.
talking about purely just the writing of music. But the person that's been making sure that it sounds the way that it does, like, what he enjoys it, is this man right here. So don't forget about him.
And big shout outs to Goodziak too, because he's a don and a wizard.
100%.
He's a wizard behind the computer, and like
Absolutely.
That's actually one of my favourite Vic rappers, to be honest.
fucking
To
hell.
be honest,
Good
I
shout,
know
man.
Goods in the
He's-
mix. He's fucking taught me so much about rap and how it's structured and how to count my bars, which has made it so much easier for transitioning into your next set of bars. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
Goodziak's,
Everything, man.
he's one of my favourite
got
Twitch streamers
everything.
from Victoria.
So underrated, and I mean, like, on the like scale of rap, like we're as a crew, we're obviously so far down here, which doesn't matter. Like, it is what it is. But like Goodziak, man, and like
Watch the
he
hood
should
react.
be way up there too. Like,
And actually, his work rate as well is unbelievable. Like, when we first started
much
rapping
props.
together, me and Goodziak, I'd always go around to Joel's house and spit with Goodziak, and it'd always be, I'd rock up with maybe 2 verses to show Goodsy, and then Goodsy would spend the next half an hour showing me all the raps he'd written in the last 2 weeks since I've seen him.
It was bullshit.
Well,
Yeah.
my old girl lives across the road from his old girl, and like, man, there'd be so many times even like I'd go to work or something, it'd be 7 a.m. I walk out the front, I'm going to get in my car. Here's Goodziak across the road, sitting on the porch, cuppa in hand, just writing raps, man, headphones on, like all day, all night. Just doesn't matter what time it is. Like he'd just constantly be writing too. So
Fucking oath, big shout out.
Some people get like motivation in the mornings because I find that I'm like more like I'm like think of more ideas in like the mornings, but some people think of them at like nighttime at like 1 and 2 a.m. and shit like that. What's that like for you boys? Like,
I sort of get this. There's like probably about 3 periods throughout the day where I have it. So when I first wake up and I go out for a morning cuppa and a dart, I'll chuck on my beats and I'll sit there and write. Then I'll come back out a couple of hours later for another durry or 2, and I'll sit there for another hour and just write. And then at night time, same deal again. If I'm sitting out in the shed, I'll just sit out there for a few hours and just fucking keep writing and writing and writing. So I know that sort of comes in spurts for me, but it's generally about 3 times a day.
Yeah, I find when I'm really tired.
Yeah. Oath.
Yeah?
Oath.
For some reason, yeah.
I reckon too.
Must be going to the darkest depths of me.
Yeah.
Mind, half asleep. you
Yeah,
know what
I
mean?
reckon.
It's-
dream state, DMT's
Yeah.
kicking in you.
Actually, speaking of Goodziak, I was talking to him the other day, and me and Goodziak are planning to do a little cheeky EP together as well. The two of us. So,
Sick.
keep an eye for
Zach
that.
squared.
that'll be that'll be disgusting. That'll be good. You won't see me listening to that anywhere near children.
Or sisters or mothers.
No, so how many of you boys actually do dabble in it? Because I know you and Toey and Goodziak dabble in making beats and stuff like that. But do any of you boys fucking get in there? No, it's all right.
I'll tell you
So
what,
they're the only talented
Man,
ones.
They're the only ones with the real
I'm
talent.
absolutely terrible with laptops, computers in general, I mean, and like all that. Like it just
I'd love to.
Me too.
goes over my head, man. I got no idea. I mean, one day me and Setho sit down, we did a track, and it's still unreleased.
Yeah.
It's there.
But
It'll be out
like,
soon.
you sat and mixed and
But-
mastered that, really.
Yeah,
Like, fuck.
with the help of Goodziak sort of showing me what's what, and then I mixed and mastered that whole track. That was about as far as I've done. And like, I mean, I love it, and I love like seeing it all come together and stuff. But I mean, I guess that's not for me. Like, you know, I'm just not computer savvy at all. So.
Yeah. I'd love to do it. I'm just a fucking lazy stoner.
Yeah, I'm so bad too. Like, when it comes to even writing and stuff, like, I find writing on my own is probably the best. Is when I'm just kicking back in bed or something. Probably is when I'm tired too. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just be laying in bed, whether it's when I've woken up or going to sleep. It's the same. So, me lack of motivation, I suppose. And
You
I
don't
guess
even have lack of motivation anymore. You've been good.
yeah, but
Oh, for
I don't know.
music, but
Yeah.
you've been motivated.
But I mean,
more.
it's not that I don't care. It's just that I absolutely love rap, and for me, I'll always love it. So I just do it when I do it. You know what I mean? I'm under
I'm
no
the same.
pressure on when I should and shouldn't make music. Like, as much as I love putting songs out there that other people enjoy, it's all for myself. So if I feel like kicking back and writing some bars, then, you know, or
Yeah, you will.
whatever, like I will. Like I'll always do it, and I never won't do it. But it's just like, I'm not going to try and pump out all this shit all the time, because I don't know, it's just
it's just what you
not
get
me.
out of
I
it.
just love rapping when I rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same as you, Joel.
It's probably better in that way because then you won't like get out of like who you are as a rapper because you're doing it when you're sort of motivated and when you're sort of inspired. Because if you're trying to rap when you're maybe not, and that's when you're sort of forcing it and you're saying shit that maybe you don't even care about. You just sort of rap.
End up sounding like chilling, that sort of thing. Yeah.
I find a lot of the time. I find a lot of the time when I do that as well. I almost never plan to write, and if I ever do try to plan to write, I don't think I ever actually end up writing anything. Like that's when I struggle the most to actually get anything down. Is that I'm not planning to.
The only time Joey can write music is about 10 minutes before he's supposed to jump in the booth and record a 32 verse, and he writes in about 10 minutes.
Stocks will sit there and he will write. He'll be like, oh, this verse isn't good enough. And then write another one and then write another one while you're still working on the fucking same line that you choose. Oh,
Once it's good enough though, you'll get in the booth and have 652 takes.
Because it's not good enough.
Because it's still not good enough.
I'm picky.
Yeah, bets are on Joey to fuck up his bars during the cypher at the end of this.
I'll take a couple of swings.
When I'm making beats too, most of the time I make a beat, I'll watch some old school Italian horror movie or something, hear something in the soundtrack and be like, oh, I want to rap to that. Chuck some drums and some bass to it, and away you go.
That's actually cool though. That like you're going off like just like random samples that you're finding and shit like that.
That's
That's
the old
sick.
westerns, like Ennio Morricone. I'm probably butchering that name, but he is an amazing composer. So much shit you can sample.
Who was
from
that?
him, you know.
Toe's the best.
Ennio Morricone. Again, probably butchering that.
Someone say it better though.
Italian?
I don't know. I don't even know.
I don't know if you spoke about this before. You probably have on some podcasts and whatnot. But what made you guys want to start doing podcasts?
Well, I suppose I've always wanted to be in the entertainment industry, obviously, because I'm fucking hilarious. It's sort of just fucking, that's where you go. No, I'm just joking. No. Honestly, it was honestly like a lockdown thing, and like with me and the boy, and like obviously I like podcasts in general. Like I listen to them a fair bit, and I've always had an interest in that sort of stuff. Like, you know, like Ben and Liam and shit from Triple J.
So good.
Yeah, and I've always like listened to them and just thought, fuck, like imagine that as a job. Like someone's actually getting paid to do that every day. Like, why would I want to chase this as a forever career or anything like that when I can go do something every day, wake up and be like, this is mad, bruh. Even on like the shit days, it's like, oh well, it's like, damn, I have to go be funny and talk in front of a friggin' mic all day or like shit like that, etc.
It's sort of the same passion that we sort of have for music in a way. 100%. You chase what you're passionate about.
Yeah, and that's right. And like the way it is, like if you like, for instance, like on like you have bad days doing everything. Like you're gonna have shit days. Like you're gonna have days where you're not gonna like setting up gigs and fucking shit like that. But it's like the passion that pushes you to do that sort of stuff. Where like people get stuck doing jobs every day and shit like that. On the shit days and stuff like that, they're just going to get even shitter and downer about it because they're like, oh, I'm going to my job or I'm going to that. And
what's that old saying where it's like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life?
Yeah.
If my worst day is setting up
that's
for a gig.
Exactly.
If my worst day ever is setting up for a gig to play a show in front of people.
Pretty good life.
In front of no one with you guys, I got no care in the world.
Definitely.
That seems like a great bad day to me, I swear to God.
That's what all it's about. Like, fuck, you just want to go around and play good gigs with your mates and just have fun and fucking do that. Why not be able to make that into something that you can do every day?
No, 100%. And like, fucking, and like, you don't know, like, it might start here, like literally you're starting here, rapping with the boys. Later on, you're like hosting a rap event or something like that. Like, you just, like, I'm just saying, like, it goes anywhere. As long as you're starting the journey, even if you don't end up where you think you were gonna go, you chase something and you end up somewhere else. That's pretty fucking sick as well.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
one door closes, another opens.
That's the only way to find it.
And one step at a time as well, you know. I think that's always been a pretty important thing in any sort of...
You can't do it without doing it, so.
Yeah, I mean, podcasts are a sick thing to get into too. Like, I love sitting back watching podcasts and, like, if you're interested in something and, you know, say you guys do a podcast with somebody that, you know, plays sport or, say, like Jimmy Crute, you know, UFC or all that sort of stuff. Like, there's so many interesting things and avenues you can go down, people you can talk to, and it's like, not only, like, I sit at home and watch them, so it's like how much more fun it is actually being there, being a part of it too. Like, you sit there and talk to them, ask them questions, get to know, you know, what they're about, why they do what they do and stuff like that. Like, it's cool, man. You're not just hip-hop related at all. Like, you talk to so many different people that are outside of what we do, but, like, we're sort of trying to bring a big scene together in the hip-hop industry around Bendigo, but, like, you guys are... There's no one else around Bendigo that I know that's doing podcasts and stuff like that too, so it's awesome that you guys are bringing that scene here as well. And there's like, you know, it's cool.
It's just entertainment in general. Like, that's like what we're all doing, sort of thing, just like entertaining the people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, just doing something we like doing. And I think I've got a lot from like You know, like when you go to like pub, I've always like just going to like pubs and drinking and stuff like that, and I think that's where I got like a lot of just like yarning to cunts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where a lot of that's why I reckon Australians
say,
are actually really good at talking to people in
Yeah.
general.
Aussies love a good yarn.
Yeah,
I can hide.
it's same with like it's why Americans are shit. No, I'm just joking.
Nah, it's not a joke.
No, but yeah, it's good. It's like it's good. Like even you boys doing that, and like I said, it's all entertainment stuff and all coming out of Bendigo, and like that's why it's awesome that we can all hook up and like do this sort of stuff together and all support each other. It's fucking awesome. It's sick. It's good to get around each
We
other.
build each other up. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what we're all
absolutely.
about.
That's what the local residents is
Community.
called. Yeah, like that's what I mean.
And it's even-
it's sick. It's sick that it all is going in the way it's going. You know what I mean?
And we're
It's
not
been
just
really
doing,
good to see.
We're not just doing this for us. Like we're doing this for Bendigo as well. You know what I mean? Like this is where we're from. And
Local residents of
if
the
we-
cultures for everything.
yeah, if we can help build anything around the community, that's why we're doing giveaways. Why we want to, like we've all had, we've probably all had family issues with cancer and stuff like that. Like fucking, that's such a pain in everyone's ass. So we want to do what we can where we can help there and like just
Give back to
we
that.
just want to give back to anybody and everyone we can. Is
Just bringing a positive vibe, really. It's just like that's
literally,
what helps create. That's what makes creation. That's what helps art grow. Anyone grow in whatever direction they want to do.
I think
Just
it's
like
inspiring.
yeah, exactly right.
Having even like say you guys doing the podcast stuff, us doing this sort of music thing, the other guys, shout out to 3550 for doing their stuff as well, and the other guys that
Shout out to
in
all
Bendigo,
everyone,
anyone doing
yeah.
anything around, the guys at Distant Culture. I mean, there's so many people around Bendigo that we're seeing
All the
just chase their
Zion
dreams.
boys and stuff,
Yeah,
like
everyone's
Lemendra
chasing
and
what
stuff.
they want to do.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, shout out Lemendra as well, who also helps out with their gig. So yeah, everyone doing everything, not just based around entertainment as well. Like people doing just chasing what they want to do. You know what I mean?
I mean-
Seth and his brother at his barber shop, and
Man, it's
you know
good to
what I mean?
see
It's
like
inspiring.
even so many people like after we say we've done the gig or like put out more music or so like whatever we've done, like so many more people coming up and like approaching us and saying like, oh man, that made me want to write this or I want to do this or can you have a look at this for me and stuff and like all that stuff's so sick to see, man. Like it's so cool to see everyone coming out of their shell more because like if we can be the pioneers of that in whatever way, the smallest way, the biggest way, whatever way, that's fucking awesome to like get these other people out doing whatever they're doing. They can be better than they could be so much better than us and they didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And
we want to showcase that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we're
exactly
about.
right,
helping
man. For
inspire
sure.
everyone to do what they want to do in life. You know what I mean? Like there's no need to hold back on anything that you want to do in life. True.
There's
like,
nothing that if
Fucking
you can't like. There's nothing you can't do if you set your mind to something.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally.
If you have the passion and the dedication, the love for something, like whether you make earns from it or anything, like who cares about that? Like, yeah, if you do, then hell yeah. But it's like just all about the love and what you want to do. Like, if you want to do something, just go do it.
It's the most simplest advice ever, but it is literally just do it.
Like,
It
don't
is
hold
simple,
back because
like,
your
it's
friends.
Nike for taking that.
Don't hold
Yeah,
back because
fuck
of
you,
your
Nike.
friends or your family or anybody. You know what I mean? Like, just do what you want to do.
And that's
Life's
the
too
sad
short.
part. That's the sad part too. Like not everyone thinks that those things are attainable. Because I knew when I was growing up, it was like fucking like people would go like down the crime world, or they'd be a tradie, or they'd go to university, and like that's sort of all there was sort of thing. And then like
how
if
different
you,
it is now.
that's why it's so motivating to do something as good as like rapping and like podcasting and stuff like that. Because if we make it somewhere, people are going to be like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
We can do that.
That's
100%.
that's so doable.
Yeah, and
And it doesn't matter what avenue you take as a young person either. Like I know some of us have had some troubled past and we've done some pretty stupid shit. And it's like, look at I suppose where we are now. Like people that knew me when I was young, I was a feral, and to see, still am, but but to see, you know what I mean? Like I never even thought. There's no way I ever thought I would be doing any of this. I was just some ghetto little scumbag rapping in my mum's shed with toes. Like, you know what I mean? It's
No,
like-
100%.
But it's all a part of growing and
Definitely.
finding who you are. So
Mind you,
Finding me.
that was with a rock band mic and a stocking as a pop filter.
Yeah, there's a good photo of that, isn't there?
yeah.
Work to treat.
Fucking oath.
It's good to see that in Bendigo anyway, because I reckon Bendigo's been lacking that sort of, I don't know, that sort of grind from young people.
Well, a
general.
youthful sort of community where everybody can sort of feel like, hey, I can have a place in this. You know,
It's-
Yeah.
It's
I
also
can be a part of this.
It's also scary, I suppose. There's probably other people out there, as we said, that we don't even know yet that do rap and have rapped for ages that, one, they don't know what way to go about it, and two, it's how nerve-wracking it can be jumping in the limelight, you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
when
for sure.
nobody else around Bendigo's doing it. It's like it just probably made it easier for us guys that there's like 11 of us or 12 of us in the crew that, you know what I mean, can all sort of amp each other up.
Like
It's not
said
just a
earlier,
singular person or two people
that was
trying to go do their thing.
That was a big factor at the first show we did as well, because there was quite a few people who hadn't performed for
Yeah.
the first time. So,
Yeah, that was a lot of people's first ever show.
you know,
It's like-
and you know, it's really great to see everybody sort of feed off that energy that each artist would bring, you know, and amp everything up.
Yeah. So yeah, we just hope that obviously with us like doing what we're doing, we'll always keep doing what we're doing. We can just inspire others. You know what I mean? That's just that love.
100%. And like, you don't always need to fucking blow up and be like mega famous and shit.
Yeah.
Like that
not what it's
doesn't need to be the goal. It doesn't need to be like, oh, but what's the point? Like, like it can be for fun.
Like,
Yeah.
like literally, if we can like play random little ghetto shows, travel across state and to random places and fucking off our own money. And like,
Traralgon.
yeah. If we can do all that sort of shit, like that's being
a
rich.
plus.
That's being rich to me in that. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
a
if we
plus.
can all be kicking in a hotel room because we just played a mad show in fucking Adelaide somewhere on this random bill and just have a mad time with everyone else enjoying it all. Like that's all it needs to be, really.
Dude, I've already done more with hip hop than I ever thought I would do in my
Ever, yeah.
life. Like I could happily just quit rap now and just be like, this is a success, and anything more is
100%. So man, like I grew up listening to Cryptic and stuff, and now we got a track with Cryptic, and even like, you know, Frax and that. Like as I said, Frax was the first like Aussie rapper I'd heard. And like they've been representing Australia ever since they come here from England, like 15, 20 years ago, and they absolutely love it here too. They've done a lot for our scene, like so much.
Definitely
And-
built the Australian grime scene.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. And it's
Pioneered
like,
it.
and even like they come to my house and did a show for us boys here, you know,
Like
in
that.
Bendigo, like, and that was just mind blowing. Even getting to meet those dudes.
Part of that's probably what kicked it off, you know what I mean? That partly having everyone there watching that sort of stuff.
Seeing
Us all feeling
seeing
how much
like
we enjoy it and love it.
sort of
you know what I
seeing
mean?
like, whoa, we can make this sort of stuff happen. Like, like how awesome was that night? You know what I mean? And like that, like we said, that's richness and success in anything we've done.
100%.
And it was all for a good cause.
Yeah,
do you
like
know what I mean? Like it was,
donating to the fires.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Tell us actually what happened. Tell us like who came down and how that actually came about.
well, the boys were raising money for the fire relief fund. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, the
just
bushfires.
bushfires and whatnot. And Fracture had put out a post saying that, you know, if anybody could manage to raise, you know, $1,000 for the fire fund, then they would come and play a show. So the boys here all chipped in money to sort of get that money up and donated
the money
it.
up.
Get the money up, posse shot, and ended up having them come down and play the show at Joel's Old Joint, which was fucking grouse.
Yeah, it was sick. Like,
I'll never forget that.
no, massive big backyard, big shed set up. We had like 2 huge big speakers and like lights over the top. Like we had
It was a sick setup.
sort of stage set
And
up.
nobody is
fun,
ever
man.
going to forget that big posse shot that we actually
Yeah,
got.
Well,
yeah,
they're
buddy.
still signed on the wall in that lounge room. Like KHA was here, get
Yeah,
the money
true.
up,
Yeah.
like posse shot 10 to 10.
Big shout out to all those boys for that, man. That was
And-
so good.
Yeah, they're just real dudes, man. So
I can't wait till we can go and do that same thing, you know what I mean? That'd
Yeah,
be unreal
exactly.
for us to go and be able to return that favour to people that were in our position, when we're in a position that they're in, to be able to give that to people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
100%.
that's what we're about as well.
That's just all the love. That's the love those dudes have. It's the love we have. That's that.
It's contagious.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah,
Love of hip hop, bro.
and you can definitely feel that when coming off you guys and shit too. Like that he's actually like you don't just sort of trend hop and stuff like that.
Been on this hip hop train for years.
Nah, 100%. Because like especially in Australia now, because hip hop wasn't cool for like ages. I remember like it wasn't like
half of us have been rapping since before it was even.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I remember back when I was like 13, 14, listening to pretty much all I listened to was Aussie hip hop, and
Yeah.
everybody that I'd show like it's just disgusted. You know what I mean? Just filthy. Like no one liked it.
oh
No
I
one
hate their
cared,
accents.
but
It's like
yeah.
it's our accent. You
Yeah,
fucking.
literally. It's like that's us, man. That's who we are. These people are representing
Literally.
like our country, where we're from, and what we do. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like their stereotype, like what the fuck are you doing here, man? You're not Australian. That's us.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the culture.
Yeah, literally.
100%. I find like especially in the late when it has sort of like shifted. It has, hasn't it?
There's
It
been a
has.
few big shifts over the years. Like,
100%. Like I know like
Pivoted into
Cursor was a big one. Like he was like a big.
I was about to say that he literally kicked off the Aussie scene.
doesn't matter whether you like Cursor or not. Like everybody gives him props for
He
what he's done.
He was the first one to do it without a label. Like he showed everyone that you can do
Make
it without
money.
being signed. Yeah, and like
And he no radio support, like didn't get any help.
Wait, did you see they played him on Triple J?
And he told him not to.
Yeah, and he did a big post like, "Fucking don't ever do that again."
That's classic.
How good.
That's good.
And that's that. How G is that? Like, of course, like you'd think even like imagine if he took that at the end of his career and then like became not mainstream but like semi brought him in. He'd honestly be legendary in a different way. But now because he's like. I reckon he's more of a legend because he's kept to his guns and he stayed to himself.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like he could have got to like think about how big he is now. He could have on it like if he got pushed again, he could get to that next 100%. But now he just prefers to be a proper legend to like the few, and that's.
That's what I mean. We do this for
What
no
I
money.
find is really fucking impressive about Cursor, right? So being in a metal band, often metal bands relied on Triple J Unearthed or something like that to help boost them into sort of these other categories where people would find the music, you know, because metal isn't a massive fucking thing. So it's really impressive to see, you know, one genre rely on Triple J and then another artist who's been pretty much blacklisted by Triple J for as long as he's been around to still make it to that top point and do it himself, you know? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cool though, like even with that big shift, like I'm not so much for the mainstream sort of music that's coming from Australia now, but it's like I've got to appreciate Triple One, Nerve, Chillin' It, all the boys, what they're doing now, like they're playing some big shows and festivals and stuff like that. And I guess as we said, that all stems from sort of how far Cursor took it as well. But like opening up those avenues for them. But it's like those boys now that are in the limelight and doing the sort of more mainstream stuff, if that's what they're about, 100%, like love it and live it.
They kill it.
Yeah, for sure. But like the amount of people, as I said, when I was young, that just hated Aussie rap and like they looked at me for filth. Those same style of Aussie rap artists now, even the more underground ones, they get listened to more often now because the
It's more in the
mainstream
limelight.
has been opened up to more people's eyes, you know what I mean? So many more people listen to Australian rap now, which then they hear even the stuff back in the day they would have thought was scummy as. They hear it now because their views and thoughts are changed and they're, you know, it's more appreciated. So for those guys, it's like showing that, you know, for all of us and the other people that are more, you know, raw and underground as well.
And that's why you can look at it like in the way it's like, oh, it's going mainstream and rah, rah. But in a sense as well, is like, that's still good because it opens up the scene for exactly that. It's like how many more people now that maybe we're introduced by listening to Nerve or something like that then find Trem and Strut and all that. It's like, and then they would have never have happened. And it's like, it's just good. Like, and just for the fact of they need to listen to those songs.
Can I cut you off there? Talking earlier about like favorite MCs from Victoria and shit. Well, King's Connected, big shout out to them, but no, I don't understand. Like, there's so many to reel off, and you just get lost when you get put on the spot and stuff. But Bias B, man, you cannot go past Bias B. Like, he is just killer, man. He's done so much for Aussie
honestly,
hip-hop as
and
well.
Draft. That all of this is
shout outs to Bias B.
all of this is literally, to put it simply, the beauty of music.
Yeah.
You know, it's across all spectrums of all genres. You know, it's you find one. And then you open or look a little bit further, and then fuck, oh, there's something else here, another little gem.
Yeah, all rabbit holes like
and that's
You
exactly
just
how
got
you
to
get
keep
sucked into
diving.
it.
But yeah, it's just good that to see where the scene's going, man. And like, I honestly think like, obviously there's nowhere near as much money here as what there is in America, but some of the artists out of Australia, man, are so crazy. Like the lyricism, the talent, you know, like it's just next level compared to some of the American artists that have made it major.
Get Alex Jones that money. Get Alex Jones that money.
Yeah, but like, I seriously hope that like in years and years to come, because obviously they had hip hop and rap before Australia did. Like hopefully we can be bigger than America and be one of the biggest countries in the world.
Well, like you said, we've got the
UK's
talent.
doing it.
Exactly right, but it's like, and like once people see this and hear this, and it all sort of spreads around the world more. Hopefully, more of the American artists will start signing Australian artists or start putting some money into Australian music, because those guys have the money to be able to help so many, and not that they don't already. Like they help so many people.
Well, even people like T-Pain noticing 1-4. That's fucking that's
for
grouse.
sure.
That's what they've done. I haven't mentioned them either. 1-4.
One four.
You know,
Crazy for
and
what they've
fuck,
shown.
1-4 have really sort of carved their own path. Like, yeah, there's drill, and that's what they're about. And fuck, that's the life they've lived and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're not posing though.
No,
Yeah.
and that's exactly it. Like to
Each of those
work or
groups.
to go from that sort of level to bring yourself out of that to being a legitimate fucking person and you're building something that's pretty impressive, to be honest.
Yeah,
despite
bloody
what
hell.
it's-
Oh,
They got bops
Those-
too. They're
they're
fucking.
major.
do.
They're
They-
major.
They've
They're
gone nuts,
huge.
especially in UK. The way that they've spread people like them, HP boys shout them as well. Like
Yeah, they've got a
all these
song with
guys have
they got
done
a
some
song with
crazy-
ASAP Ferg. They're
Exactly right.
huge.
Like, it's
They're
fast,
doing
but
so
But
well.
ASAP Fag did him dirty on that song because it was dog shit song.
Yeah, but still, there's still just a connection, like them getting
fact
noticed,
that
and
they
like
were willing
that
to work
that
together.
expanding the scene, that opens up the scene so much more.
Kid
to
Leroy.
them. Yeah.
Sorry, I meant the
Kid
one on the
Leroy,
album.
literally.
The one on the album. I just meant he gave a weak verse, I reckon.
I agree.
Yeah, like you said, that Kid Leroy as well. It's like
Yeah.
that's another full different style of
Impressive.
music again. But look
insane.
what he's done in a short amount of time. Like he's fucking burnt it. He's flown off on the scene.
And if he can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah,
He was
exactly
Just another,
right.
He was just another
It's a success
young
story.
boy from Australia.
He's a
that,
little
you know,
Camilla boy just from.
He's
fucking
just
Sydney.
done what he's done. You know what I mean? So anybody else that's watching this, if you're a singer, if you're an artist, like Ronnie and the boys drawing or whatnot, just follow what you do, man. Because like anything
Definitely.
can happen.
That's it.
And like Alex said earlier, it's like if you work for something or you got like something in your head that you want to achieve, if you just do it and keep working towards it and keep that in your head, you will get there eventually, no matter how long it takes.
Up to you.
You'll get there. Yeah, exactly. It's on you, honestly.
Doesn't mean it isn't good to have people that help along
Yeah.
the way. I mean, I can guarantee you now, if I didn't have Setho filming for Not Well and I didn't have Bembo to record the vocals, wouldn't have fucking happened.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have that fucking level of knowledge.
But everyone has that.
but that's-
too,
that's
though.
what I mean.
Everyone's
You-
been
you know,
helped along the way.
That's
You
what's
work-
beautiful
you
about
work
the
with-
collective
yeah.
as well. Like, yeah.
Fucking oath. And it just works beautifully like that, you know?
Because sometimes
wanna push it up.
branching out's the hardest part about a lot of those things, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
like, oh, I can do this part, but I can't do that. No, I just won't do it then.
The more
And
we're
then
experimenting,
instead of actually trying to find it, instead of like it's good that you boys are all together.
Yeah,
And get it
definitely.
done sort of thing, like from start
But
to
it's all
finish.
just trial and error too, though. Like even when Goodziak first started producing, and even when Toe started doing all his own stuff, like they didn't know what the hell they were doing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they just go for it, and if it doesn't sound the best, you just keep playing with it until you get it better. You produce that track, put it out, and then it's just all progress from there on out. You just keep going and going and going, and you just get better and better as the time
That's
and
the
years
grind.
go on.
at one point
exactly.
you knew nothing about anything.
Yeah,
You know
straight
what I mean?
up.
You've learned
I don't
everything
know,
fresh.
Ronnie was
so-
born with a whole lot
Turn
of
this
knowledge.
podcast off and YouTube how to produce a song, you know?
No, don't turn the podcast off.
YouTube teaches all.
You can learn to be a doctor on YouTube, I reckon. Lock it in.
I've done it.
Oh, yeah. That's what I told me last client last week.
Had no
He's no
patience.
longer here to believe me.
Let's just say nah.
Cardiac
His name,
arrest.
Patient Zero, wasn't it?
John Doe.
Too many.
MC Flatline.
There's a lawsuit coming. Ah, Golden Boys. Any more fucking stuff you boys want to add?
Keep an eye out.
Depends what you want to
Keep an eye out for some shows
Joel's
coming
just
up.
inspired me to live my life to the fullest. So.
There you go.
I'll tell you
See,
what.
I've
You
inspired
have
one
motivated
person.
me.
So
Yeah, that's
I've
mission
inspired
accomplished.
2 people right here, right now.
Mission
So
accomplished.
that's
Don't
that's
get
my
into
life
that.
done. Catch us later.
Now you know who to blame for him.
I'm going back to hide in my room forever. See you, boys.
Teabaggers, just wanted to sign off and say a big thanks to the LRC boys again for jumping on this episode. It was awesome to hear where everybody came from, what inspires them, motivates them, and what continues to drive them and their goal as a bunch of down-to-earth artists, just wanting to give back to the community and further their passion. So cheers, boys. There'll be a follow-up video for the audio listeners out there on the Teahouse Podcast YouTube channel of the lads cracking into some ciphers, so be tuned to see that release shortly. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.